Hello there. Welcome back to Bleeding Truth. I'm Sally McNally, the Irish midwife.
And I'm Bridget, Sally's daughter.
And we're doing some bonus episodes with my sisters as a little introduction to them. I love them. I have 5 of them. So there's 5 episodes. And I recently got back from Ireland. And this episode is Sister Mary.
So if you guys are listening, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe for the Bleeding Truth podcast. And if you're on Apple, please make sure to leave us a review because that also really helps us out. Yeah. Let's hear about Mary.
Yeah, so Mary was, of course, one of my older sisters, and she's very strong, very funny, and very wonderful person. So
I just had a memory of her real quick.
You?
It just, yeah.
Tell me.
I don't know how old I was, but you left me at her house for some day in Ireland. You and Dad went and did something, and I hung out with my aunt, basically.
Yeah.
And we were just in the dining room or something. And, you know, in Ireland, there's like big flies. The flies are like really big.
Yeah.
And I just remember one came in the window and was just zipping around us. And she just grabbed it out of the air and threw it out the window or something. Like I just was like, whoa.
Oh my God. You know,
because she just grabbed it right out of the air. And like, if you so picture good. Mary, it's just like.
That is Mary right there. I love it.
Yeah. That just came to me.
And that is probably all we need to know. That's Mary. She's sharp, she's funny, she's strong. And of course, she was a nurse.
She also acted like it wasn't even, she just brushed it off like, yeah, just grab him. I was just like, wow, okay, sorry.
Such a cool memory. So
you're saying she's a nurse?
Yeah, she was a coronary care nurse. Sometimes we think that as nurses, they're led to a certain type of nursing, you know, that's symbolic of the kind of person they are, you know.
That's a lead up.
But of course, she was all about the heart. And she was a wonderful nurse, really, really wonderful, strong human being. And she was a charge nurse. We tell a little story when I'm chatting with her about that. She was the charge nurse while I was the student nurse. And she was tough on me, tougher than any other charge nurse I can remember. But she was great, and she used to teach me a lot. But she went to America, and herself and her husband, Kevin, they went over there and lived for many years working in Brooklyn. They were so fun. I went to visit them twice there. But she came home to Ireland, which is an unusual thing. Usually, you know, when you are an immigrant and you leave, you start a life and stay in America or some other part of the world. But they came home,
right?
And they settled.
I mean, New York's expensive, so if you went to New York, you're like, "This is ridiculous. The traffic is bad." But maybe that's
true.
why.
Yeah, but they had a son, and he's a nurse as well, so that's really exciting. But Mary is so funny. She always makes us laugh when she's there with us all. We'll all say to her, "Sing Turalura, sing Turalura," and Turalura, it's like a song that Americans love when Irish people go Turalura. But she takes it to the extreme and makes it so emotional, and it's just so hilariously funny. And I'm sorry I didn't get that on tape. I promise I will. I'll get her doing it on tape for us.
That would be a great theme song really for the Bleeding Truth.
Yes. But she hurt her back, poor baby. She was resuscitating a patient on the floor and hurt her back. And she that was kind of the end of her nursing career. But so that was such a shame for the world because she was so great, so strong. But when we were little kids growing up, I can remember her one day in particular, and again, it really made me respect her and feel strong as a little female, as a little girl. We were all coming home from school. We used to be in our uniforms. We had these little plaid skirts and little green blazers, and we were all dressed the same coming home from school. And she had these shoes called loafers, and she liked to put steel little pads on. It was the style then, the Bay City Rollers kind of style. And every time her foot touched the ground, it would make a kind of a clicky metal sound touching the So they were fun too at night time. You could click your heels and you'd see sparks. But,
wow.
These boys were coming home and trying to get our attention or being mean and stuff. And they were shouting something like, "Taxi men's daughters," which means nothing. That means nothing, right? It's like postman's daughter, or, lawyer's daughter, or doctor's daughter, taxi man's daughter. But to them, in their mind, they were shouting an insult at us, But so it was the intonation of what they were saying rather than the words. But Mary took it to honor because she was like had that nature, that fiery nature in her. And there was, I think, 4 of us. There was the 3 little ones with Mary. I think that's all of us that was there. And so she turned towards them and started walking towards them. And we started walking with her. And we kind of like started to copy her. And it was like a little army, right? And every time her foot hit the ground, you could hear the clicking.
You guys just went into
army mode. And she wasn't saying anything, but she was giving off this vibe like power, and I could feel it, and I could feel the power inside myself. And it wasn't violent, but it was powerful. And it was coming at these young boys. And she was looking at them, and she was marching towards them, and we were marching, and they ran away. They were so scared of her. They ran away.
That's hilarious.
I can still get that feeling when I think of her, that, it was just like a really good lesson for me as a kid.
But that's so funny.
Yeah. So Mary, of course, was always one that I could go to and, get strength from. So for me, I think of strength when I think of Mary, that she, I was very strong when my parents were both ill and going into nursing homes or being looked after at home. She made sure everybody knew how to do CPR and had lists of their medication and had things like that organized that were hard for, the rest of us. But she took it like a job, So even though she couldn't go back to her job as a coronary care nurse, she helped us all, as everyone did their part. But my sisters had to take 2 days maybe out of the week to go in, stay in the house with my parents, and that was really hard.
I remember that era was tough because also you were, a country away.
Yes.
Further. And
6,000 miles away. Yeah.
Right. And not being able to help was stressful.
Yeah.
And then when you would go, it was, I remember you talking about, it was just tough because you'd have to, babysit basically your mom or dad. And I mean, as much as that's important, it doesn't make it easy, right?
But it was a love thing. It was so nice to get to be a part of the looking after them and to give my sisters a little break too. But I remember when I would go, Mary would say, "Your instructions are in such and such a drawer," and she would have the whole thing written out at, what the medication should be, when they get it, what kind of food, how to get them to go to sleep. And it just was so nice, and she was still my charge nurse, even then. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wasn't she your charge nurse?
Yeah.
Like when you started working too, right?
Yeah, when I was a student nurse way
Yeah.
back in the day. And I thought she'd be so, easy on me. But she was tough. And I thought, there she is, Mary. No, we couldn't use first names. I had to call her Miss Hartigan, and she would call me Miss Hartigan. And she'd shout, Miss Hartigan, with her hands on her hips. And I'd go, yes, Miss Hartigan. I'd peep out the door, and she'd say, get up here. But
That's
yeah,
cute. Yeah.
she was tough. Yeah, but great.
Yeah. So let's listen to that clip from her too.
Yeah, let's listen. I think she's telling a story about that, about being.
Oh, okay,
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear.
Hello, I'm
Hi.
Sally McNally, the Irish midwife.
And I'm Mary McKenna, the Irish midwife's sister.
This is my sister Mary, and I'm in Ireland, in her home, her beautiful home here in Monaghan. Thanks,
Yes,
Mary,
she
for
is.
inviting us.
Actually, I didn't really invite her. I think she invited herself, but that's okay. Yeah.
Mary,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you if there's any stories from our childhood that you can remember that you'd like to share with our friends.
Okay, so it better be a good story, right? Like a nice story as opposed
Doesn't
to
have to be.
traumatizing. Okay, I'll go for a traumatizing story. We have 5 sisters. So there's 6 of us in the family. And I never liked makeup or anything to do with it. And my sisters decided when I was younger that I needed my eyebrows shaped. And they attacked me and chased me through the house until I was under a bed upstairs screaming at them to get away and leave me alone because they were going to pluck my eyebrows. And I think maybe Daddy or Mummy interceded at that stage, or maybe the neighbours and the police because of the screaming that was going on. But anyway, as you can see, eyebrows intact, never been
Your
plucked.
eyebrows are beautiful. Sorry about that, Mary.
Yeah, it's a bit late now. That's probably why I never went on and got my eyebrows plucked.
I remember you wanted us to trim your hair once.
Yeah, I just wanted to,
She has beautiful hair.
I just wanted
She
to
has a
trim.
reddish, beautiful colour in her hair. We always loved her hair.
So they started here with the fringe, or bangs as people would say. And then it went sideways like this, and then like this, and then like this, and then it was just a little sticky up thing. So no more fringes.
Sorry.
My sisters had a lot to do with the fact that I don't look in the mirror too often.
Oh, Mary. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
No.
I was young. I didn't do too much of that.
Yes, you did.
Mary's a nurse as well.
Yeah, retired now at this stage. And I'm trying to get Sally to do the same.
Not yet.
That's a bit young. She thinks she's a bit young.
More babies to deliver.
Yeah, plenty more. And to make and all the rest.
Mm-hmm. An interesting thing about Mary, she went to live in New York, Brooklyn, New York, and worked in the coronary care unit and the ICU unit.
Yeah.
For many years. How many?
Yeah, almost 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
And it's very unusual that Irish people leave and come home.
Yes.
She actually came back here.
Came back to Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is no place like Ireland.
Yeah, there's no place like Ireland.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah. And right now it's a heat wave in Ireland,
which is also unheard of in Ireland. We're 31 degrees at the moment, which is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But that's okay because it's over tomorrow. And we're all looking forward to the rain again. Being a nurse in Brooklyn is very different in that you have autonomy in the States. And, well, at least it was like that. It's more like that now. But I remember when I came back from Brooklyn to work in Ireland, I found that nurses weren't really respected and their opinion wasn't really that important. And, you know, it was hard for me to sometimes keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Actually, it was impossible, you know, because you can't go backwards, you know. Once you learn to open your mouth, once you get a voice, you keep a voice, you know, or you should keep a voice.
Yes, I love that.
But, you know, like nursing in Ireland is just the same as nursing everywhere else. There's patients and they need looking after and you need to touch them and
Yes.
heal them and mind them.
Yes.
And that's really like...
And you're really good at that.
I was.
Yes.
I loved being a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my favourite thing.
When I was a student nurse, Mary was a charge nurse on one of the units that I had to train on.
Yes.
And I was so excited to get to that unit. Was it medical?
Sixth floor male medical.
Yeah, and finally I got my assignment to train on that unit. And I thought it'd be so much fun working with Mary.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to make...
No favourites.
No favourites. So it was the opposite. She was really strict.
And I tried not to be. But then if she had done what she was told, I wouldn't have been so strict. She got an assignment one morning and she was told, definitely do not do this. And it was to wash a patient because he was well able to wash himself. So that was fine. That was a definite, do not do this. Get this man out of bed. So about an hour later, I'm doing medications and I find Sally doing exactly what she was told not to do. So after that, it was like...
She'd come out of the room and she'd go, Miss Hartigan. That was our name.
Yeah, but that was them. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
we had fun.
Yeah. We started in a time in our nursing career when the doctor would enter the room and all the nurses would stand up.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It was all about the doctor, and we were like the handmaids.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah.
But we used to smoke on the units.
Everybody smoked on
Sometimes
the units. In maternity wards.
Smoke with the patient.
In maternity wards, you would go to visit somebody who had just had a baby, and everyone would sit around smoking around the mother and the baby, including the mother, and eat grapes.
Grapes.
Yeah. Or digestive biscuits.
Yeah.
And
tea and toast.
And tea and toast.
Yeah, that was.
But everybody smoked everywhere they smoked it. Yeah. And medical units where people were not able to breathe, and everyone would say, once you have your first cigarette in the morning, you'll be grand. Turn off the oxygen, have your first cigarette, not be a bother. And they were right. For the most part.
Oh my God. Oh, we had fun though.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah. Thanks for helping me be a nurse. I love being a nurse.
Yeah, it is the best.
The best.
It is the best thing to be a nurse. Yeah. And that's it from me.
Thanks, Mary.
It's lovely to talk to you all.
I love you, Mary.
I love you.
Thanks a million.
Hi, Bridgie.
So thanks again for listening. We really appreciate it. And if you like what we're doing, give us a bit of a review on Apple. That would help us so much. And if you come across a subscribe button, press the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything.
Okay, I just want to say, coronary nurse. I definitely was thinking morgue. Does coronary mean heart?
Yes. Coronary. Sometimes people say they had a coronary, but they don't finish it, like a coronary accident. That's a heart attack.
Okay.
But
so what is
coronary care is looking after the heart.
And then what is it called that's like a morgue? That's a C word. But it's a C word. Coroner. Coroners.
Coroner.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes. Bridgie.